If someone told you 20 years ago that one day an unathletic 6'3" guy would be the reason why basketball changed forever, you'd probably ask him, what the hell is he on? Yet, that 6'3" guy has done exactly that. The thing with truly great players is that we usually start taking them for granted at some point. But the other thing about truly great players is that they can turn it up a notch every once in a while. You already know who this video is about, so here's 10 times that an unathletic 6'3" guy impressed the world. Number 1. The time he embarrassed LeBron at the 2017 NBA Finals. After the legendary 2016 NBA Finals and all the 3-1 memes, you just know Curry was itching for revenge. Since Golden State and Cleveland had a virtual monopoly on the finals for those couple of years, Curry got his chance in the 2017 in Cavs-Warriors Round 3. Golden State took Game 1 and Curry was going at absolute anyone and everyone on the Cavs in Game 2. That includes the 2016 Finals MVP, LeBron James. When the two of them got matched up on one possession in the third quarter, Curry went to work and LeBron went all over the place. By the time their dance was done, Curry was getting to the rim and laying the ball up between James and Kevin Love.
Drives on James all the way, goes up and scores! He beat him to the rim! What a move by Curry!
Sure, LeBron isn't exactly in his prime here, but you don't see people taking him on a ride like this on the regular. Number 2. That time he sunk New Orleans with 2 clutch threes in the playoffs. When New Orleans snuck into the playoffs in 2015, everyone anticipated that the Warriors would sweep them in the first round. That's exactly what happened, but they went down swinging. They even had a great shot at winning Game 3. Up by 5 with less than 20 seconds to go. But Curry didn't feel like losing a game to the number 8 seed, so he fakes out Holiday and puts up a 3 and swishes through the net with 11.8 to go. Down 2, the Pelicans managed to score just 1 point on the next possession, and Steph launches another one, but this one barely draws iron. They get the ball back and Curry puts up another one. As soon as the ball leaves his hands, he gets knocked into the stands WWE style, but the ball swishes to send the game into OT to the delight of all 7 Warrior fans in the building.
Curry's got it. And Curry will let it go for 3, comes up short, offensive rebound, Curry again, and Curry hits a 3!
You know how the rest went: overtime, sweep, finals, championship. Number 3. That time he took Rudy Gobert for a ride. There isn't much that needs to be said about Rudy Gobert. The Stifle Tower is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year and has a $200 million plus contract. In case you forgot about the latter, I'm sure Shaq will quickly remind you how bad that contract is. Anyway, even someone with Rudy's defensive resume can get scored out, but you don't expect to see them flat out humiliated on defense. Guess nobody told Curry because on this particular play, he had Gobert going through more revolutions than his native France. A couple of seconds later, all Rudy could do was watch Curry lay the ball up. All he could do for the next couple of days is lay low, since that clip of him getting owned was playing just about everywhere. Honorable mention. That time he got Lee on that one pass to Lee highlight reel. Few things in basketball are more beautiful to watch than a well-executed fast break, especially when it ends in a jam. Flashy passing isn't the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Steph, but he can do it when he puts his mind to it, just like he did here. Number 4. That time he broke the all-time record for made threes at MSG. You know we had to include this one. You all know that Curry's pretty good at shooting threes, but this was pure and simple a historic moment. Not just for Curry, but for the game of basketball itself. You've probably seen the moment about 1 million times by now, so there's no introduction needed. Doing it at the mecca of basketball with Reggie Miller calling the game and Ray Allen in the front row only adds weight to the moment. And you know, it gives the Knicks something to put on their very short list of their notable basketball moments in the last 10 to 15 years.
Here's Curry for the record. It's good! And there it is! Stephen Curry!
Nice of Curry to help less fortunate franchises. Number 5. That time he dropped 44 points in college with LeBron in attendance. Small, doesn't have a defined position. Unathletic, questionable if scoring will translate to the NBA level. This is how many scouts saw Curry during his days at Davidson, and somebody is probably roasting the poor bastards because of it today. To be fair, while Curry had some pretty awesome games in college, it wouldn't have been the first time an NCAA star turned into an NBA bust. So back in 2008, Curry put on a performance for the ages against North Carolina State, scoring 44 of the team's 72 points. It wasn't his most efficient performance, since he went 4 of 14 from 3, but some of the clutch bombs that he was hitting had every fan in the arena going crazy. Even a little-known basketball player by the name of LeBron James, who was in attendance for the game, had to get out of his seat and applaud the kid he'd be battling in 4 consecutive NBA Finals.
Stephen Curry lights it up. LeBron's impressed in what he sees. 42 points, 2 away from tying a career high.
Number 6, the entire 2020 and 2021 season. With KD gone and Klay Thompson out for the 2nd straight season, everyone had written off Golden State. Given the team's performance the season before, it made sense to write them off. At least until Curry took it personally and pretty much turned the entire season into 2K's My Career mode, when you get your players to 90+ overall and go nuts. With a 62-point game, an average of 32 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.8 assists, a lot of people had Curry as their MVP. That might have been the case if the team around Curry was any better and if their season didn't end in the play-off tournament. The MVP simply had to go to the Joker, but the Chief was the sole reason why Golden State games that year were must-see TV on any given night. Number 7, that time he threw it behind the back. Behind the back passes just have a certain flair to them that's not easy to replicate. They're cool to see even when it's a short one, but it's something else when it's launched to the other end of the court. Look no further than the one Sir Charles pulled off back in the day. He says it's probably the best play he's ever made, and that's coming from a guy who can dunk hard enough to move the entire basket. The one Curry pulled off in this play can give Chuck a run for his money. Step 1, the steal. Step 2, fling the pass with his offhand to a sprinting Durant. Step 3, turn around, because cool guys don't look at explosions. It was right on the money, and Durant didn't have to break his stride at all.
Trying to spin, stripped to the ball by
no.
Curry. Pass to Durant, who tomahawks it home.
Honorable mention, that time he dropped CP3. Steph's shooting often overshadows other elite aspects of his game, so he sometimes has to give us a refresher. This time, it was his handle, and the victim was CP3. This play seemed like a near-dead possession until Steph remembered he was Steph and went to work. 2 quick crossovers behind the back and CP3 has left the building. Steph's as cold-blooded as it gets here. He just goes up for the shot without even glancing at Paul. Of course, it swishes clean through the net. The best part about this shot is that CP3 didn't even bother going for the rebound when he got up, because he and everyone else there for that matter just knew it was good. I sometimes think Steph has kind of a vendetta against the Clippers because of the plays he sometimes pulled on them. We'll be going back to one by the time this video is done.
Curry inline shakes Paul out of his boots and hits a fallaway jump shot.
Number 8, the time he hit 13 threes in a single game. There was a time when the most threes made by a single player in one game was 12. That record stood until Curry woke up one day and said yes when asked how many threes he's going to hit that night. November 7th, 2016, Warriors versus Pelicans. It was just one of those nights when an all-time great player gets in the zone and flexes their anime protagonist powers. After a couple of early makes, Steph turned it up to 11 and started hitting from everywhere and over everyone. Some of his threes were pure in-your-face street ball type of shots. By the time it was done, Curry hit 13 of 17 from deep and 16 of 26 in total for a casual double-double of 46 points and 12 Pelican players questioning their life choices. It's kind of hard to believe that this feat was real, and even harder to believe that Klay Thompson broke Curry's record by hitting 14 threes in a game 2 years later.
He knows where he is. As Curry hit another 3 for the record.
Number 9, that time he hit 12 threes versus OKC. So this was back during the legendary 73-9 season when the Warriors were winning left and right, and OKC was still a relevant franchise with Durant and Westbrook leading the way. These teams ended up having a great battle in the West Finals that year, where the Warriors were on the other side of a blown 3-1 lead. In a way, you can call this early season game a sign of things to come. Curry starts heating up, almost entirely forgets that the 2-point shots are a thing, and chooses long-range violence for the night. You throw just about everyone on your team at him, and he keeps hitting shot after shot. It's the final few seconds of OT, tied at 118. Curry has the ball, 4 seconds left on the clock. He already hit 11 threes, but it's cool. You got 3 guys in front of him that won't let him get anywhere near the 3-point line, let alone the rim. It was the perfect plan until Steph pulls up from the logo that makes you feel the kind of disappointment Seattle felt when the Sonics moved out of town.
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh,
Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Number 10. That time he turned the Clippers into practice cones. I hinted at this one earlier, and you were probably expecting to see it way before I mentioned it, so here it is. You know how this one goes. He gets the ball, 3 defenders surround him, and the rest is history. Feel free to rewind this one a couple times. It's always worth rewatching.
Curry splits the defense behind the back, fires a three. Oh, he puts it in!
That's it for our list. Let us know in the comments if we missed your favorite Curry play, or if you have a cool idea for a video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on NBA Zone. Thanks for watching.
The greatest move I've ever seen.